Howdy folks, it's been a little while. Just want to give you a little update on some things I've been doing. Been trying to work on a target practice shooting range and got several targets set up already, but I was on the good old interwebs and found a Facebook deal from Dragon Targets over President's Day weekend. And they were running, and this is not paid for. I bought these totally on my own. They got this 3 target pack. It's a 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch in the 1/2-inch AR 500 steel, and these were like $30, $35, something like that. And it also comes with some little reflective sticky deals. And they also had the 8-inch in 3/8. I think these were like $15 a plate. Now, these are an unfinished, just run the laser out of the plate, and they sent their little sticker, I guess you can put on there. But they've got some surface rust and whatever on here. No big deal. We'll just hit that with a little wire wheel. I am going to knock the edges off just a little bit, just to clean those up, so when you are moving them and handling them, you don't have quite as sharp as an edge. And then we will throw some paint on here and go out and test them out. That's the plan right now. So I got 2 of these 8-inch and 3/8, and then this other pack is a 1/2-inch size. So let's open these up real quick. So we are just gonna say, here's Dragon plates. They are American, out of Beaumont, Texas, I believe. So I always like to support American when possible. Another one of their stickers. Like I said, not sponsored at all, so don't know how, but nice little 1/2-inch thick. So we'll see how these hold up. They should, especially the 1/2-inch, should handle about anything. So these are just the unfinished. So here is the 3/8 and then the 1/2-inch. So just kind of give you a difference on size on those. So let's get to cleaning these up and we will go from there. Also, this little kit, they do send like a 10-pack of these 6x6 reactive bullseye targets, some little markers. So you can plink with these or sight something in if you need to. But that's nice to have. Not necessary for these though. So these aren't real sharp. You can take an angle grinder to them, with a flap disc or something, and just round them off. I just want to make them, if you're not wearing gloves, a little bit easier to handle on your hands. They're not bad now, but we're just going to hit them with a 2x72 and clean them up just a little bit. Doesn't take much. Like I said, I just want to kind of knock that sharp edge off a little bit. So we'll get the rest of them done and we'll get on to the next step. All right, real quick on the 2x72, I'm just running a 36 grit belt that I do use with some of my knife making. Like I said, just putting a slight bevel on that, just knocking that sharp edge off. All you got to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do anything. Just stick them out there and start shooting the crap out of them, I'm sure. But I'm just going to try to clean them up a little bit and make them last a little bit longer. I'm going to do some orange paint on these. I will wipe everything down. I'm going to wipe everything down with some acetone first, just clean off any hand oils or anything, from manufacturing process or anything like that. I could sand them down, but not too worried about that. I mean, they do have, some of them do have a little bit of This one's probably the worst. This one looks like it sat outside for a little bit. You know, a little bit of surface rust. I might hit that one with a little bit of sandpaper, but yeah, they're going to be outside most of the time. They're going to be painted. So, and they're made to shoot. So, you know, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, I'm sure. But let's get these wiped down and cleaned up a little bit, and we'll get ready to spray. So what we're going to do here, like I said, if you're wanting to check some out, Dragon Target's not sponsored. If this, you know, if the 22 LR totally blows through them, you'll know who not to buy from. But we're just going to take an old t-shirt here, make some rag out of it. Hulkamania! Yeah! It's always easy to rip a t-shirt. It's kind of harder to rip it and make it look halfway decent. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? All right, so some acetone. Just gonna wipe these down good. Should I be wearing gloves? Yeah, probably. Should I be wearing gloves not to get my own skin oil on here? Yeah, probably. How worried about it am I? Not really. So, you know, figure get enough acetone on your hands and you take care of all the oils in your hands, right? How that works. We're just wanting to get enough off so this whole rattle can here. This stuff does pretty good for targets, actually. I've used it on my bigger targets and stuff, so it lasts pretty good. You can go to Academy and buy the, you know, high dollar fluorescent orange stuff for like $12 a can or whatever it is. Yeah, this stuff for $6-7 a can for the Krylon seems to do the trick for what we're doing. There's a couple more here. This is the 1/2 inch one. The 1/2 inch ones seem to be a little less rusty for some reason. I don't know if they maybe store them inside a little better, but they just have kind of a fine little patina on the surface, but they're pretty smooth. So, and the last one here. So I paid $74.94 or something for all 5 of these. There was a $15 flat rate shipping, and that was, I think if it was over $100, you didn't get to pay that, but I just wanted to try a few, so I bit the bullet and paid the shipping. But they got here pretty quick, within just a few days of ordering, so that was good. And we'll get on to spraying these, so let's do it. Gotta be sure and shake your rattle can up. Gotta hear it rattle. So obviously from this company, you can order these and get these painted or powder coated or whatever they do. But this, I like cheap, and I don't mind doing a little bit of work myself. So we doing a little orange rattle can job ourselves. I can go full coverage with the first coat here. Kind of build it up a little bit. But we're also not painting a classic car, so it really doesn't matter that much, right? Just trying to get enough on here so you can pick them out of the woods, or you know, protect the metal, of course, from any more rusting. You know, just want to protect them from the elements and be able to see them a little bit easier. You know, if you got white, you can do white. I was thinking about doing like a red, white, and blue, so you could call out different target colors, kind of make a game of it. So whenever you're shooting with friends, you can do some reaction drills or whatever. But these will be fine for now. Let's let this dry a minute, and we'll be back here in just a few. flip these bad boys and get on to the other side. All right, so these are pretty well dry to the touch, not sticky anymore. So we're just taking these and flipping them over. Like I said, we are not painting a classic car here, so we are not that worried about it. I scrounged up some other cans of paint here. 2X, the painter's touch. I'm going to come around here and get close to you. I want to say, if you have an Ace nearby, do not buy this paint. This is like spraying watercolor on stuff. $6 a can and it's garbage. Splurge for the extra $2 and get some Krylon or something. But this stuff, no good. All right. We just got that just in case we run out of the good stuff though. So give these a shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your paint can. Shake your paint can. All right. It's nice, easy spray here right off the bat. I'm not trying to drown it. And yes, welcome to the Ditch Dock spray paint tutorial. Hope you enjoy the lesson, because the payoff should be pretty fun. I'll say this Rust-Oleum 2X, I think covers a lot better than the Krylon Color Master. You know, that this on the label says there's 2 cans worth in here, and I think it does cover a little bit better. So maybe if you're in the store, Walmart, wherever, you see the 2X, it might be worth the pickup. You know, you can do orange, you can do white. White shows up really well too, if you're doing targets. But go buy a mismatch color gallon bucket of yellow and keep a paintbrush in there and just slap it on whenever you're done shooting. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy. Don't overthink it. Like I said, I got some different colors so you can call out different targets if you're shooting with friends or family or something. You can do a 180 turn and say, shoot blue, shoot orange, shoot white, whatever. So we're just going to kind of finish this up. Another light coat on these. And then we head to the range and see if they'll stop little rocks flying at them at high rates of speed and see how they react. Don't forget to get down a little hole so it doesn't rust on you as quick. It'll eventually rust if you leave them outside, but you know, try to cover all your surfaces best you can. Woo! Let's get high. While we're kind of finishing this up, just, you know, there's a lot of different ways you can hang these. That place and others do sell, you know, laser cut hooks or stands. I've made a stand, and you know, we've made some kind of redneck impromptu, just take some rebar and you know, make a stand. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. You know, you don't have to spend $1,000 on the setup. You know, you just want something to kind of last and you know, be able to hold up to some rounds, some spalling. That's kind of the main thing there. But you know, you can do the hooks. You can do just some baling wire. You know, baling wire, you can fix all kinds of stuff with baling wire. Things like rope or paracord, they'll last for a little while, but eventually that spalling coming off that plate will just shred that, destroy it. So if you're only going to be taking a few shots and that's all you got, that's all you got. But you know, I would do something metal on those if you can. So we're going to finish these up, let them dry, and then we will get out to the range and see how they perform. Stick with us. All right, so we've got target set up out on the range here, and we are going to put a few rounds through it. Not going to do any like green tip or armor piercing or anything like that. We're just going to shoot a few, probably do some 45 ACP, just a shotgun. Just threw some new furniture on a shotgun, so we're going to play with that a little bit. But just try them out. Nothing serious, so stick with us. We go hot. All right, not too bad. Some 45 ACP. Of course, we're messing up our paint job. That's okay. There's no dents, divots, anything like that. Can't even, it's still smooth. Can't even feel where the impacts are. So I'd say it's good to go. Dragon targets, check them out if you want. If you don't, I don't care. I have no affiliation. Do what you want to, but they did have a pretty decent deal. Seemed like for, you go into Academy or somewhere and buy single plates for what, 35 bucks for one of these, and got got 5 of them for 75, so shipped, so that's not too bad. So that was a 1/2-inch plate. We're gonna swap it over to the thinner plate, the 3/8, and see what happens. Round number 2. "45 ACP. You absolutely gotta kill a cow." New furniture on the Mossy. Got the Maggie pulls. Mag pull. Good outcome on the thinner one as well. Maybe a little more pitted, but everything's still smooth. That's just paint pit where shotgun rounds hit. But thanks for coming, hanging out with us, painting some steel, checking out a new product and a new way to go train. Everybody be safe, and we will see you next time.